2, 1. Recording now. Got to start streaming in 3, 2, 1. And we're live.
Hi. I guess we're live now. Let me make sure that on Twitter I have said that it is time. I believe Carl is tweeting something. I'm just going to retweet
Working
him.
on it.
He's working on it. So welcome to Batman, Athenaeum, Athenaeum. We still haven't figured out after all these episodes. Hopefully by the end of the season when Bruce is Batman, we will also know how to pronounce the title of our own show correctly.
Athenaeum. It's Athenaeum.
Athenaeum, sure. I believe you. I have no reason to doubt you, Batman.
But what if it's
Todd,
it's actually
look, Todd Habercorn told me himself in Destiny.
But
So.
what if it's actually Athenaeum?
Oh God.
Every
for
source I've
today's-
checked says Athenaeum. Just saying.
For today's episode, something very special is happening, and that is that Bruce has finally returned to Gotham. And so we are going to see him reunite with everyone. We are going to see him finally confront Harvey Dent after all these years and how that friendship ended. We're going to see a whole bunch of things. And the whole city's a powder keg ready to explode. We'll see how it all goes. And we have an incredibly talented group of VAs here to bring this to life for you tonight. I think it's going to be one of our best episodes yet. And I'm really excited. So I hope you guys are too. So whenever we're ready, do we want to just go ahead and go down and every actor introduce themselves for this episode?
Going from top to bottom, starting with you got this, Archer.
You're here.
Can I read it from top to bottom?
I mean, you can read them all if you want to, but usually we introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Just starting with you.
People should introduce themselves. Oh, it made me first because I changed my name.
Yeah,
in
you have
the server. That
brackets.
makes more
Yeah.
sense. Ah, darn. Well, my name's John Archer. I'll be voicing random extras as they're needed.
I'm Adam New. I'm voicing Detective Harvey Bullock.
I am Dylan, Nikewi on Twitter, and I'm going to be voicing Alfred as always. And just a reminder for all the VAs over here, please make sure to switch to push to talk until your turn comes up. Smile.
Hi, my name is Carl G. Brooks. I'll be voicing young Bruce Wayne, and I'm not wearing any pants.
Ooh.
Nobody else? Wow.
Yep, that's everyone. Okay.
I'm wearing pajamas.
Yep. Just check the Discord list to see whoever's next in the cast order. Whoever has a part, please step up.
Hannah is next, I believe.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm voicing Julie Madison.
Hello, my name is James Riley. I'm going to be voicing Clancy O'Hara.
What's up? Jazzy Oliver here. I'm going to be voicing Lonnie Manchin. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Hey there, this is J.J. Williams. I'm voicing James Gordon.
Hey there, I'm Josh Lee, and I voice Howard Brandon.
I think next on the list is Lawrence, and I believe you're going to be doing additional parts, correct, Lawrence?
Yes, I will do additional parts as needed. I'm Lawrence Brenner.
I'm Luciela Busvia. I will be doing additional parts, and I also wrote the scripts.
Hi, I'm Marissa. I'm reading for Vicky Vale, and tonight I'll also be reading for Lark.
Hello, I'm Ron, and tonight I'll be voicing Carmine Falcone.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'll be another one of those additional voices.
I think Smitty's next.
Hi.
Hi, there you go.
Sorry about that. I'm Smitty, and I'm playing Mom. I'm having a little trouble downloading the script right now. Keep going. I'll catch up.
Smitty will be doing additional parts for us as well.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm Barbara Gordon.
I'm Sue Ling. I'm not in this episode, but I will be in the next episode.
Hello there, I am Christopher Stewart Destiny Johnson, and I will be the narrator.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm Taseme on Twitter, and I'm doing Gilda Dent this episode.
Hello, my name is Ryan Seal, Actic Voices, and I will be doing Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, this episode.
Yo, my name is Kevin Afghani, and I'll be playing Harvey Dent, I think, right? Yeah. So.
I am Cadeau, and I will be Edward Nashton, and I am wearing Carl's pants.
That's where they went.
Is this
mystery solved?
Good job, gang.
You sound a bit far away from me.
Yes, we need you to be louder. I want to hear more of you always.
Oh, why do you want to hear more of me?
Gee, I want to hear all of you. That's why you're all here.
That's
Oh,
better.
dear.
Let me
Is
know
that
if I
better?
should bring. Sorry. Let me know if I should bring my microphone any closer. It's like a couple feet away from me.
It would be less echoey if you were closer. Okay, so as always, these are table reads. They're cold reads. People don't really prepare for these. They're more casual, mostly just for the actors to get a feel for them. And finalized, fully recorded and mixed versions with music will be out eventually. But in the meantime, we hope that you enjoy our presentation. So whenever we're ready, I'm going to hand the floor to Chris, our narrator, and he can go ahead and get us started.
Lucia, real quick, how's this?
You sound amazing.
Perfect. Thank you.
And thus we begin. Batman, Athenaeum, Episode 13, Homecoming, Part 1, by Lucia Lobos Villa, based on the works of Bill Finger and Bob Kane. Exterior, Amusement Mile Docks. The final offer, night. The final offer is a hybrid cruise liner cargo ship docked at Amusement Mile. Armed guards stand protecting the ship and warding off anyone who comes near. Its name is emblazoned on the side. Interior, the final offer. Penguin's office. Contrary to the rickety steel hallways elsewhere in the boat, the main office is lavishly decorated. Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, sits at his desk, surrounded by finery and excess. In front of him stands Lonnie Mansion, dressed in raggedy old clothes. His face is stubbly, unshaven. Despite his unkempt state, he is clean and holds his head up with confidence, the holes in his gloves unhidden. He wears his state with pride. A small TV is hung on a wall in the corner, playing a news report.
Hosting a high-class homecoming celebrating the return of Gotham's first son, Bruce Wayne. Anyone who is anyone is expected to be there.
Cobblepot switches the TV off with a remote controller and then puts it down, facing Lonnie instead.
I don't think you're understanding me, mister.
Mansion. Lonnie Mansion.
Cobblepot grins. He knows Lonnie is lying.
All right. Sure. And I'm the Penguin. We can both use our nom de plumes if you prefer.
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Cobblepot. My real name is Lonnie Mansion. My parents are from the Narrows, and I...
I'll save it. I know who you are. I know everything that happens in my city.
Cobblepot puts a cigar into his mouth. A beautiful woman in sexy, form-fitting business attire, Lark, walks over and lights the cigar for him.
Much obliged, love.
Cobblepot smacks Lark's ass as she walks away. She gives a little squeal and giggles. Cobblepot offers a cigar from his cigar box to Lonnie.
Care for a Cuban?
No, thank you. I have to rest my voice.
Cobblepot frowns and shuts the cigar box.
Now, where were we? All right. This little shindig of yours. Impressive following you got for someone so young, but have you got the capital to back it up?
We do what we do because we believe it's right.
Continue.
Oh. We do what we do because we believe it's right, not for pay. The others don't follow me, they follow the cause. They chose me as leader to serve them, not to be served by them.
Oh, sure, that's very noble of you.
Cobblepot takes a puff of his cigar and exhales right in Lonnie's face.
I get it. You're an idealist. I respect a visionary, I do. But vision without a practicality is just naivety, ain't it? Let me show you something.
Cobblepot snaps, and Lark pulls back a curtain, revealing cases of guns, tear gas, body armor, knives, etc.
Ain't that a beaut?
If you summon me here to try and intimidate me into silence, you're wasting your time.
Loney. You're misunderstanding the situation. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty, Gov? These here are toys not meant to scare you. They're here to protect you. To go on, take them.
I don't understand, Mr. Cobblepot. Ours is a peaceful protest.
Sure, of course. There's that idealist in you, but think about it for a moment. You ain't gonna be able to surround Wayne Manor and all his pretty high society guests without the hives calling in protection from the scourge of the have-nots.
Cobblepot chuckles.
So, you mean to offer these for self-defense?
Sorry. In the event of your civil disobedience is met with an unnecessary escalation of force from Gotham's most well-armed and violent gang of all.
Police.
Yo, daddy.
Lonnie's attention snaps away from guns to look at Cobblepot, shocked and afraid.
Oh, yes, I know who you are, James. Golden Jr., the police captain's runaway son. Looks like the tough guy mask is slipping. You're intimidated now, ain't ya?
Cobblepot chuckles and takes another puff from his cigar as two of his armed guards flank Lonnie on either side of him. Lonnie blanches, looking terrified.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cobblepot. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but I don't have any money.
Don't fret, boy. Consider it a gift, a donation to the cause.
A donation? We're not a charity.
Of course not. You're the future, the right side of history. Ain't that how you fancy yourselves? Anti-fascist action for a safer, more egalitarian tomorrow.
With all due respect, I've never known a businessman to give anything away without strings attached. Otherwise, he wouldn't stay in business long. And you don't seem like the sort to be foolhardy with your money.
Cobblepot chuckles darkly, putting out his cigar and pouring himself a glass of brandy. He takes a slow, agonizing sip, then sets the glass down.
I knew I liked you, boy. You're right. I'm a capitalist at heart, which puts us at odds. But you ever hear the saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Cobblepot removes his glove, revealing a deformed hand.
You see, we ain't so different, you and I. Them bluebirds up in Wayne Manor don't see me as one of them, no matter how much money I make. That's why when one of their own takes the fall, they give me a golden parachutes. But when my family fortune dwindle and Wayne Enterprises absorb our business into their burgeoning monopoly, well, the good folks of Gotham's elite there to catch me.
Cobblepot
slams his desk, rattling the brandy glass and glass ashtray he has placed in front of him.
Course not. They left me out of the cold on the streets. I had to claw and climb and connive my way back to the top to any means necessary. All on my own. I may have been born into high life, but the good is where I gestated and where I developed. Where I was reborn as a man you see before you. So now I say, when the chips are down, I'll remember who my people are, the freaks, the outcasts, the forgotten. But ain't you the same, Mr. Middle-class son of the suburbs?
Your point is well made and understood.
Good lad. Now, let's avoid any more trouble. Shall we? Take my generous offering and off with you.
Thank you, Mr. Cobblepot.
Please, Lonnie. Call me Penguin.
Cobblepot grins and lights a new cigar in his mouth himself with a match, shaking the match to put it out and breathing the smoke into the camera. Interior, Wayne Manor, Bruce Wayne's bedroom. The next day, Bruce is trying on a suit in front of the mirror, fiddling with the bow tie. He feels awkward, no matter how he poses. He loosens and pulls off his bow tie, grabbing a straight tie from the pile to try. As he ties it, Alfred comes in holding a breakfast tray.
Good morning, Master Bruce. I have breakfast for you.
On the nightstand is fine, Alfred. Thanks.
Bruce checks himself out with his tie, still looking dissatisfied, as this tie is way too long on him. Alfred sets down the tray and comes over, picking out a more sophisticated-looking tie and offering it to Bruce.
If I may, it might help to try one in your size.
Bruce smiles, a bit sheepish, taking the tie from Alfred, and begins switching.
I guess I'm out of practice.
It'll come right back to you, sir. Not unlike riding a bike.
Let's see if I remember how to do that, too.
Not to pry, but what has you so nervous? You've been to parties this sort at the Wayne Manor since you were born.
Sure. Birthday parties, holiday, my father's business dealings, my mother's charity galas, and... but never anything like this. You only get one chance to make a first impression.
True, it's not every day a man returns from being presumed dead and claims a $10 billion fortune.
And that's just the liquid inheritance. I don't even know my total net worth. If we factor in the stocks, trusts, real estate, properties, not to mention ownership of Wayne Enterprises and its subsidiaries.
Well, the Wayne Foundation is a non-profit funded primarily by Wayne Tech, so I wouldn't count that one, at least.
Bruce yanks off his blazer and checks how he looks just in his white dress shirt. He adjusts his cufflinks.
Is the blazer too much, or is it the dress shirt and the slacks too casual? I was just considering the vest as an in-between option.
Not unless you want to look like a waiter or an underage boy. I suggest aiming for a more high-powered CEO look.
Okay, so no blazer then. I've got nothing to prove, right? So, why not just look casual? I'll just look casual. It's my party.
That is entirely up to you.
Alfred leaves. Bruce looks in the mirror, posing a few times, trying to look confident and casual. Alfred pokes his head back in.
Oh, and should it be of interest to you, Master Bruce, you should know the Dents have RSVP'd.
The Dents? You mean Harvey and...
Do try to eat before it gets cold.
Alfred leaves.
Gilda.
Bruce eyes the blazer and then grabs it. Interior, GCPD, bullpen, afternoon. Captain James Gordon goes around the office, giving orders as he gets himself ready to go, strapping on his gun, yanking on his coat.
All available officers means all available officers.
Come on, Jim! Guess Clue is on tonight. It's the season finale!
It's a game show, Harv. Should have set your VCR to tape it. Now strap up and let's go.
Bullock grumbles as he stands up, getting ready.
I swear, Bruce Wayne comes home to a several billion bucks and a soiree of a lifetime. What do I get to come home to? Cold TV dinners and reruns. God, I tell ya, a working man ain't allowed anything anymore. Not even the simple pleasures.
Barbara hurries over to Gordon.
She's about 12.
Yes, ma'am. She's like 12.
Okay, thank you. Dad, can I come too?
Gordon kneels, putting his hands on Barbara's shoulders.
Pavs, I know you probably want to see the celebrities in their fancy dresses, but it's not safe. There's already crowds gathering around the property for a protest. We gotta make sure things stay peaceful, but nothing is guaranteed.
Gordon looks up, barking orders.
Speaking of, Brandon, I need you and your team on standby in the event of a riot.
Those you're gonna have to give me a second here. I kind of on the wrong page.
We're on page 9.
Brandon, get your script already.
He's resisting.
Apologies there. I kind of screwed up. I thought I was only on 14.
Oh, Dad, I'm losing faith in your crew here.
God, the cops of Gotham are all so corrupt. They don't even follow the
This is
script.
why we need
This is why
vigilantes.
you need Batman.
This is
And
yeah.
I
This
thought,
is vigilantes.
and I thought I was the bumbling cop.
And the
I know,
irony of
I'm
the line that he
terrible at
has.
Swear,
Turns
does
out,
this sound well?
you sound great. You sound wonderful, Steph.
Thank you.
Also, I'm loving your new mic there, Captain Gordon. You sound great.
I know, isn't it lovely? I got it from a very good friend.
Well, I'm sure they're lucky to have you.
Sorry for being unprofessional here. Can I get a
You're okay.
link to episode 13 real quick?
I'll send it to you.
All right. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry.
Somebody
boy,
got the
just
Jeopardy theme queued up.
I think we might want to just move on for now. Archer, can you just do his line for now while he's getting ready here, and we'll just move on in the script.
I had myself muted. I have to unmute in order to do that. We are on page 9 and
Howard Brandon. It's just one line, really quick. So we
okay.
can
All right.
just continue on.
Right. Okay. Brr-dur-dur.
Way out of you, Captain.
Hey, first of all, ew, Dad. I don't give a crap about some shallow fashionistas' latest runway looks.
Should have known.
Gordon stands.
O'Hara, Bullock, you're with me.
You got it, Captain Gordon.
Steph.
Clancy?
He said his line.
Oh, I'm sorry. Second of all, I know about the protest. That's why I want to go.
Absolutely not. You're staying here where it's safe until I get back.
Dad!
This isn't negotiable, Barbara.
You would just listen to me.
Enough. You'll wait in the office, and that's final. Now out of the way, I have a lot of work to do.
Barbara crosses her arms, pouting. Edward Nashton, however, suddenly comes running in, looking over the crowd. Gangly, awkward young man that he is.
Captain Gordon? Captain Gordon!
Gordon sighs, rubbing his temple.
Here we go.
Good. I was worried I wouldn't find you before you left.
What is it now, Nashton?
It's about the protest tonight.
That's where I'm trying to get to. So if you could spare me a long-winded exposition for once and get right to the point.
Edward looks aghast and makes a positively offended sound, but shoves a photo at Gordon.
Fine. Such ingratitude. If it wasn't my job, I wouldn't even tell you.
Gordon adjusts his glasses, taking the photo and looking at it.
Is this?
Sources on the street indicates he's been going by the name Lonnie Mansion, but he bears a striking resemblance to...
Jamie.
That's what I was trying to tell you. He's the one leading the protest.
Gordon looks up at Barbara suddenly.
Oh shit, is that me?
Sorry. What? Who told you this? Nashton, are you putting ideas in her head?
Captain, I expend an absurd amount of effort a day trying to keep your miniature prying Pandora out of my work. Obnoxious as she isn't stupid. However she came to this conclusion, she did so on her own.
Gordon sighs and goes over to Barbara, ruffling her hair.
Okay, Barbara, I'm sorry. You're gonna be one hell of a detective one day, you know that?
So now can I go? Please?
Negative. Sorry, kiddo. It's still not safe.
Then will you at least tell Jamie how much I love and miss him?
I'll do you one better. If he really is leading this protest, I'll find him and bring him home.
Barbara grins widely. Gordon turns back to Ed.
Good work, Nashton. Keep it up.
Naturally. As the saying goes, anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Who said that again? Socrates?
Oh, it's pronounced Socrates, you overgrown chimpanzee. And it was Hunter S. Thompson, actually.
Hey, he said the thing! Good old Ed Gilly.
The officers laugh. Ed groans loudly in frustration.
That's it. I'm going back to my desk. If anyone needs me, cope. I'm not taking any more requests today.
Ed storms off.
Thanks, Harv. I don't think I could handle another long-winded Nashton lecture.
Don't mention it, Cap. Let's get cracking. Maybe we'll catch a glimpse of that Vicky Vale. Ooh, or maybe Silver St. Cloud. Imagine the me time material I'll get out of that one.
Christ's sake, Bullock, really?
What? What did I say? I'm a man of simple pleasures. Get off my back!
Gordon, O'Hara, and Bullock head out, along with most of the officers. Barbara watches them go, waving forlornly.
Good luck. Is my mic doing the thing again?
We heard you, but I think it was on the second take. You're good.
Yeah, we got you on the second take.
I was about to yell, good luck!
She hurries off in the direction that Ed went. Interior, GCPD, Cybercrimes Division. Barbara bounds into Ed's office.
Hey, Nashton?
No.
You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
All right, go ahead.
Tell me how you got that picture of Jamie.
To reiterate, no.
Oh, come on!
Ed ushers her out and slams the door shut, locking it. He shudders, going over to his desk and using several pumps of hand sanitizer.
Gordon needs a leash for that walking petri dish of his. Ugh.
Ed sits at his desk and gets back to work. Exterior, Wayne Manor, driveway, evening. The rich and famous of Gotham are gathered, having parked their cars by valet as they go inside. Vicky Vale and her camera crew are there filming.
I'm standing outside stately Wayne Manor, where the rich and beautiful of Gotham have gathered for the party of the decade to celebrate the return of Bruce Wayne. Mr. Wayne, who disappeared 6 years ago, just as he was poised to turn 18 and inherit a tremendous fortune, has long been a subject of curiosity and conspiracy. Perhaps tonight we'll shed some answers on one of Gotham's most intriguing modern mysteries. But not everyone is happy to see Mr. Wayne return. Already, a crowd has gathered to protest Mr. Wayne's extravagant homecoming event, estimated to have cost a few $1,000,000 to put together on such short notice. Money which activists believe could have better spent enriching the community. Supporters of Mr. Wayne, however, believe that the young heir deserves understanding and a warm welcome home after the tragedy of his parents' deaths so many years ago. Whatever side you fall on, this is sure to be a night to remember. And as always, we'll be here to report any developments to you. For GNN, this is Vicky Vale. Back to you, Jack.
The cameraman puts his camera down. Vicky relaxes.
We off the air? Any update from the studio on getting us an invite inside?
Exterior, Wayne Manor. Outside the gates. A crowd of protesters has gathered, picket signs in hand. The GCPD surrounds the gates to keep the protesters back.
Wall Street, Wayne
Street, people need
to eat. Wall Street,
Wall Street,
Wayne
Street,
Street,
people need to eat.
Wall Street,
people need to eat.
Wall Street, Wayne Street, the people. No, wait, I'm a cop.
Lonnie stands on top of a step stool, addressing the crowd with a megaphone, wearing a V for Vendetta style mask.
Bruce Wayne and his guests dine on caviar and $100 bottles of champagne while children all over Gotham will go to bed hungry tonight. They drive cars worth more than the average house, which our citizens still can't afford, along with food and water. Is this just?
No!
I ask you, is this just?
No!
The jet fuel Bruce Wayne uses in his private plane alone is double the cost of gasoline the average citizen must pay at the pump just to get to work, to get back home, to get to their families. Is this equality?
No!
I ask you, is this a free and fair society?
No!
Captain Gordon walks over to the protesters, whistling at Lonnie to get his attention. Then he gestures for Lonnie to come over. Lonnie hands his megaphone over to another protester who resumes his job as Lonnie steps down and steps out of the picket line to talk to Gordon.
Come with me.
Am I being detained?
Is that the tone you want to strike for this conversation?
I have a right to peaceful assembly. If I'm not being detained, I'd like to go back to my picket line now.
Christ, Jamie, I just want to talk. Come on.
Lonnie looks uncomfortable, but follows Gordon as he pulls him aside, away from prying eyes.
Take off the mask, will ya?
Lonnie removes the mask.
Anything else, officer? Should I turn out my pockets too?
Gordon suddenly hugs onto Lonnie, much to the latter's surprise. Gordon then pulls back to look at him.
Over a year. Not so much as a phone call. I didn't know if you were alive or dead.
I had important work to do. I couldn't have you sending any of your jackbooted thugs after me.
I haven't slept a full night since you've been gone. Barbara has been going crazy with worry. Does any of that mean anything to you?
Does the plight of the people of this city matter to you? Or only those with enough money to get on Bruce Wayne's invite list?
Jamie, I don't want to fight. Whatever you may believe, I'm not your enemy. You want to be a high school dropout and spend your time on this moral crusade of yours? Fine. It's your life, your choice, your consequences. But can't you do this and be home with your family? I already lost your mother. I can't lose you too.
Lonnie shifts uncomfortably.
You really won't try to stop my work?
Jamie. Lonnie, whatever you want to be called, you're old enough to make your own decisions. You clearly know how to support yourself, and that's good enough for me. We don't have to discuss politics. I just want to know you're safe. That you have a roof over your head and food in your belly.
What I want for every citizen of Gotham.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want you to come home. Please.
Lonnie looks away, considering, and then nods.
Think about it. Right now I have to get back. They need me.
Well, you know where we live. It hasn't changed. The door's always open to you.
Lonnie nods, putting his mask back on, and goes back to the picket line. Interior Wayne Manor, ballroom. The classy elites of Gotham are conversing, mingling and sipping champagne. Bruce is surrounded by a crowd of women. He's trying his best to be gentlemanly, but is clearly overwhelmed.
Is it true that you hit your head while on a ski trip and were in a coma the whole time? I heard you were kidnapped and the government just obviously just got you back. Oh, please tell me that was just some kind of self-actualization life coaching retreat, right?
Ladies, please. I can hardly keep up.
Brucey, you bring back any lucky lady friends from overseas?
You have my number, don't you?
Bruce!
Bruce looks up to see Gilda waving at him from across the room. She disappears into a hallway.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Bruce hurries away as the women awe in disappointment. Interior, Wayne Manor, hallway outside the ballroom. Bruce exits into the hallway, but Gilda is nowhere to be found.
Gilda?
A flashbang and Gilda appears in a puff of smoke, throwing her arms around him.
Surprise!
Wow. Oh, that was a shocker. You've only gotten better at that. I still remember the disappearing act you pulled back at the Halloween at the old Arkham Manor.
Magic is a lifelong commitment, but speaking of an impressive disappearing act, where have you been?
She puts her hands on her hips.
Well, it's a bit of a long story. Probably one best saved for another time. Say more private dinner?
Gilda smiles, then punches his arm playfully.
Deal. I was so worried. We tried inviting you to the wedding, you know.
I know. I'm sorry I missed it.
You don't have to pretend. I know what happened. Harvey told me what he did. He never stopped blaming himself for chasing you away.
I'm not pretending. It's all water under the bridge.
Really? You mean that? He'll be so happy to hear it.
Where is Harvey anyway?
Oh, you know him. All charm on the outside, an anxious mess on the inside. He's hiding out on the balcony.
Interior, Wayne Manor, balcony, night. Harvey Dent stands on the outdoor balcony. He flips his coin and stares out at the night sky, melancholy, full of remorse.
He wasn't sure you'd want to see his face.
Bruce steps out onto the balcony. Harvey turns around, a guilty, hopeful expression on his face.
Bruce?
Room for one more?
Harvey nods. Bruce comes over to stand with him.
Remember freshman year, I invited you and Gilda over for Christmas? You and I stood here and made a pact.
Did I forget?
Harvey shows a pin on his lapel. It reads, Harvey Dent, the White Knight.
The White Knight. Like my father's campaign slogan.
Thomas Wayne. Our knight. I still have that old button. And keep it in my desk at work.
So, you're running for office?
For district attorney, actually. It's a long shot, but I have to do what I can to keep my end of the pact. For the good of Gotham.
Harvey looks out over the balcony. Bruce does the same. It's a bit awkward.
You know, I made a similar vow to my parents, long before I met you. That day we stood here and we made our pact. It was the first time I felt understood since they died.
Harvey's face is incredibly pained hearing that.
I betrayed you. God, Bruce. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's okay.
Harvey turns to Bruce.
No, it's not. You trusted me, and I...
Harvey, we were teenagers, dumb, hormonal high schoolers. I didn't behave perfectly either.
I tried apologizing so many times. I kept calling you, but Alfred had no idea where you'd gone or how to contact you. At first, I thought you were just avoiding me, but then I learned you really had vanished. For a while, Gilda and I worried you died. All because of me.
Come on, Harv. Narcissistic much? I mean, it wasn't all because of you.
Harvey looks at Bruce, remorse etched so clearly on his face.
I was a troubled kid. There were a lot of things I wanted to escape. Too many hurts for a boy that age to handle without being stupid and self-destructive. You and Gilda were the reason I made it to adulthood in the first place. Before I met you, I was headed down a dark path. All things considered, you gave me far more than you ever took from me.
Bruce.
Which is why, if you'd let me, I'd like to help fund your campaign.
Harvey blinks in shock.
You don't have to do that.
I've got more money than I know what to do with, Harv. Please, let me put it towards some help. Let me put it towards helping Gotham. The way we promised we would.
Harvey swallows, all choked up, and nods.
Thank you. If there's anything I can do.
There is one thing.
Name it. As long as it's not illegal, I'll do it.
Well, I would really like to be friends with you again.
Harvey is so touched. A small blush tinges his cheeks, and he laughs softly to himself.
I was so afraid to face you. I almost didn't come. Gilda insisted. And truthfully, I wanted to see for myself that you were still alive. I was convinced you'd kick me out or kill me if you laid eyes on me. I practiced 100 different ways to apologize, tormenting myself, so certain you'd never accept any of them. Now that you're here, I feel stupid. I should have just been honest with you from the beginning.
Honest about what?
I was scared, Bruce. That's why I did what I did. It doesn't justify it, not even close. But I was a lonely kid with a crap home life, in love with my best friends, terrified they'd run off without me, and I'd lose both of them. I let my fear and my anger get the best of me. Convinced myself you'd be okay with your good looks and your family fortune. You'd have no problem finding someone new. I should have known better.
Bruce blinks, processing all this information, but missing the point.
Harvey?
I don't regret marrying Gilda. She's the love of my life and always will be. But I should have told you how I felt back then. I shouldn't have been a coward.
You did tell me, Harvey. You warned me that you had feelings for Gilda, and that if I didn't get my butt into gear and confess, that you would.
I'm not talking about Gilda.
Okay, then who else?
Damn.
Harvey sighs.
Even after all these years, I guess I'm still a coward.
I'm not following you, Harv.
And you are still the dumbest smart person I know.
What?
I remember the last thing you said to me. You called me two-faced. You don't know how right you were. But you only ever saw the face you wanted to see. The feelings you were comfortable with me having.
Harvey, whatever you're worried about, I swear it's okay. I won't be upset. You can tell me.
Harvey flips his coin, checks it, then shakes his head and pats Bruce on the shoulder.
Maybe another night. Call me old-fashioned, but I prefer to take it slow on this one. Great party, Bruce. Welcome home.
Harvey turns and goes. Bruce stares after him, confused. Interior, Wayne Manor, ballroom. Gilda sits at a table, sipping champagne. Harvey comes over and takes her hand.
Hey, beautiful, dance with me.
Sure, handsome. Where's Bruce?
Probably hot on my heels. Please dance with me before my heart explodes in my chest.
Lead the way, future D.A. Dent.
Harvey leads Gilda out onto the dance floor as Bruce enters the ballroom. Bruce looks around for them and finds them dancing. He hangs back, waiting.
Bruce Wayne, I take it?
Bruce turns to see who is talking to him. An older, distinguished gentleman leans against the wall, sipping champagne. He wears a rose pin on his lapel.
The same. Have we met?
Never had the pleasure until this moment. I knew your father, though. Hell of a man. A regular pillar of the community.
Were you a friend of the family?
More like a long-term business associate. But yeah, we were friendly. Carmine Falcone.
Falcone puts out his hand. Bruce shakes it, being polite, though he's getting a bad feeling.
What sort of business did you have with my father, Mr. Falcone?
Bruce drops his hand as Falcone gestures around the house.
The same sort of working relationship I'd like to have with you, Bruce, if you're amenable. Let's just say, a palace like this, abandoned for 6 years in a city with one of the highest crime rates in the country. It doesn't go unlooted by sheer chance.
No, I had my butler looking Alfred. No, I had my butler Alfred looking after it.
Come on, kid. Don't be naive. The criminal element in Gotham is organized and well armed. If they wanted in, one old man with a shotgun wasn't going to stop them.
It's dawning on Bruce what Falcone wants.
You're saying you stop them?
No need to thank me. It's the least I could do for Thomas and Martha. God rest their souls. But for however fond I was of your parents, nice memories don't keep the lights on. Perhaps we could come to some kind of agreement, respectfully.
So, this is a shakedown.
That's such an ugly word for what I hope will be a fruitful and mutually rewarding relationship for many years to come.
You know what I think?
Please, enlighten me.
I think you should leave.
Falcone frowns.
You're young, hard-headed. So I'll do you the courtesy of not being insulted by your rudeness. I advise you to think carefully before making such a rash decision. It's dangerous out there, Mr. Wayne. I'd hate for something unfortunate to happen to you, the way it did to your parents.
Bruce is burning up with fury now.
Get out before I call the police.
Alfred hears the commotion and comes running over, just as the party guests are beginning to look over and pay attention.
Master Bruce, no need to raise your voice. I'm certain your guest will be leaving. Come, sir, let's get your coat.
Falcone grins, dropping his glass and letting it shatter, spilling champagne everywhere.
Sleep on it, Brucey. I'll call you in the morning.
Falcone signals his men, and a pair of bouncers follow him as they leave.
Evans, he seemed a dreadful sort, now didn't he?
Who the hell let him in here?
Master Bruce, do calm down. You have guests watching.
Bruce takes a breath, steadying himself, and turns to his guests.
Apologies, everyone. Why don't we bring out some more drinks and share a toast? To the hero Gotham needs. Future District Attorney Harvey Dent. Our White Knight.
The guests applaud. Harvey looks around surprised, but quickly jumps into politician mode and waves. Exterior, Wayne Manor. Driveway. Falcone's car is brought around. Falcone's goon opens the door for him and he gets in. The door shuts and Falcone rolls down his window, addressing his goon.
Tell our guy on the inside it's time. Wayne wants to play hardball. He can have it his way.
Falcone rolls up his window and the car drives off. Exterior, Wayne Manor, outside the gates. Falcone's goon walks over to the police line and whispers to Officer Howard Brandon. Brandon nods.
Let the boss know we got it covered.
The goon leaves. Brandon turns to his men.
All right, boys, time to kick this demonstration up a notch.
One of Brandon's men goes over to the protesters, pointing a gun.
Everyone down. He's got a gun.
Brandon's man number one begins firing into the crowd. The protesters scream and scatter. Lonnie ducks and covers.
Lonnie, what do we do? There's kids here.
Filthy pigs!
Do we fire back?
Damn it! Non-lethal suppressing fire only, just long enough to get the kids and disabled out of here!
Right.
Gordon, meanwhile, hurries over to Brandon.
Hold your fire! Brandon, what's going on here?
Rioters have guns, Captain. Pointing them at the guests as they were leaving.
I didn't see their side fire first. Your men are out of line.
The protesters start throwing gas grenades out at the cops.
We've got gas grenades! Masks on!
Brandon and his anti-riot squad put on their gas masks and get out their riot shields. They start firing into the crowd again.
Damn it, I said hold your fire!
It's too late. The protesters start firing back using the guns Cobblepot gave them. Gordon is forced to duck behind the riot shields.
The captain's gonna be a problem. He saw we fired the first shot.
We got that covered. Have some of our boys on the way to the station to collect some persuasion as we speak.
Interior, GCPD, bullpen. Barbara sits at a desk in the empty bullpen, reading a book, bored out of her mind. She sighs and checks the clock. It's past midnight.
Come on, Dad. It's taking you so long.
Suddenly the door opens. Barbara stands and runs towards the door in excitement.
Dad?
She stops when she sees it isn't her dad at all. It's two of Brandon's men.
You're very quiet.
You can keep doing Brandon's men like you were doing them earlier. Sam, if you want to keep doing Brandon's men.
Sure thing.
I'll have Sam and I'll have who else wants to jump in? Josh and Ron, if you guys want to jump in and do the other like dudes too.
Cool.
All right.
All right, you two want to take 2 and 3 since I took 1 then?
Yeah, I'll take 3.
I'll take 2 then.
Perfect.
We on 31?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Mrs. Gordon. Your daddy says he's sorry he's late. Just can't get away from work.
Stan, it's his job.
That's why he sent us to pick you up and bring you to him. So you're not stuck here waiting for him all by yourself.
It's okay. I can wait right here.
No need. He's waiting for you. Come with us.
Brandon's men reach out for Barbara. She tries to turn and run, but one of them grabs her by the arm. Barbara screams.
I can't scream because I live in a place of roommates, but
Quit squirming or we'll tell your daddy you're being a bad girl.
let go of me. I don't know you.
Screw it. Gag and cuff her.
No, Dad, help!
What seems to be the problem?
Brandon's men freeze, looking up to see Ed.
I don't think Captain Gordon would be happy to see you handling his daughter that way.
Brandon's men let go of Barbara.
You're right. Our apologies for startling you, Miss Gordon.
Barbara immediately runs for Ed, hiding behind him.
Police!
Now, calm down, Barbara Gordon. These men are the police. I'm sure there's a rational explanation for this misunderstanding, now isn't there?
Yeah, Captain Gordon can't get away from the protests, so he sent us to pick up his little rugrat.
Now that is strange, because he left me in charge of babysitting. You think he would have called me and mentioned it? Perhaps you could get him on the phone so he could confirm. Not to be accusatory, but I'm certain he'd have my job if I didn't take every precaution. I mean, she is his little princess after all.
Brandon's men exchange glances.
Sure. We'll get him on the line. In just a second.
Brandon's men leave.
with you, Nashton. I'll never argue with you again, I swear.
Foreshadow.
Ed turns to Barbara suddenly, grabbing her by the shoulders.
Shh! We're not out of the woods yet. Stay quiet and follow me.
Ed leads Barbara out of the bullpen. Interior, GCPD server room. Ed pulls Barbara into the server room, shutting the heavy, reinforced steel door and bolting it up.
Those are Howard Brandon's men, anti-riot enforcers, basically SWAT. Not men your father would send for you. And I doubt whoever did send them is going to take no for an answer.
He then turns off all the lights.
You would send them to get me.
I know as much as you do. Whatever it is, it can't be good. Right now, they're probably getting either their weapons or some backup. Or both.
What do we do?
Ed kneels in front of Barbara, looking her in the eye.
We stay quiet. Keep the lights off. Make them think we've already fled. Hopefully, they'll take off looking for us. In the event they leave a man behind here, the server room is reinforced. The door is bomb shelter quality steel, bolted, chained, and electronically locked. They'd need way bigger gear to get in here, and I doubt they'd want to draw that much attention to themselves. If we can outlast until your father and the rest of the GCPD return, we should be fine.
Barbara whimpers and throws her arms around Ed, clinging out of gratitude and for reassurance. Ed makes a distressed sound, bristling, but copes as best he can for as long as he can, until he can't and grabs Barbara by the arm, pulling her away from him.
Less touching, if you don't mind. Come on, let's move over to my workstation. We can turn on a desk lamp and try to occupy our thoughts for the time being.
Barbara nods. Ed stands and Barbara follows him, clinging to his sleeve. Interior, Wayne Manor, ballroom. Bruce and some of his guests look out the large windows at the commotion outside the gates, listening to the gunshots.
What the devil?
Falcone.
Are those gunshots? Oh my god, they go grenades! Is that tear gas?
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. This sort of stuff doesn't happen to us.
The guests are starting to panic. Harvey and Gilda come hurrying over.
Bruce!
Harvey, Gilda, are you two okay?
We're fine. Are you?
Yeah, listen. You two remember the Wayne Manor, right? Okay, do you think you can evacuate the guests into the wine cellar?
Of course.
You can count on us.
Everyone! Hi! Harvey Dent here. If you'd make 2 orderly, single-file lines follow my lovely wife Gilda and I, we'll lead everyone to a safe room. Nice and calm. No need to rush. The commotion is still quite a distance away.
There'll be wine.
We'd better get going too then, Master Bruce.
No, I caused this. I'm gonna put a stop to it.
But what are you going to do?
Bruce walks away, in the opposite direction that Harvey and Gilda are leading the guests. We freeze frame.
That is the end of this episode. We are going to do one more episode for you tonight. So I hope you're all having a great time. We're going to take a short break. What do you guys say to 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, 10 minutes is good.
We're going to take a
All
10-minute
right.
break so that everyone can use the bathroom, get some water, chill out. And we will be back in 10 minutes with part 2 of Homecoming.
All right. Stop streaming then.
Nice.
Take care, everyone.